Road trip? Did somebody say road trip? Why was I not informed of this? We are not amused. Hey, I've got an idea. Let's drive up the Sea to Sky Highway from Vancouver to Lillooet. Beautiful at any time of year. Having made it through blinding snowstorms and avalanches from Squamish to Lillooet, I settled in to enjoy the luxury accommodation afforded by the back seat of my car in the train station parking lot, and slept soundly, dreaming of the adventures that the new day would bring.
Just driving along Fraser Canyon here. Oh, what's this? Oh yeah, just driving through the Chilcotin. Hello. Hello. Must belong to the Halfway Ranch. Nice sunny day here in the Chilcotin.
Well, it wasn't getting any warmer, and by the time dusk fell, it was obvious I'd be spending another night in the car, parked in a picnic area by the side of the road. I heated a can of beans over the Coleman stove for dinner, and that night the temperature dipped to 17 below. The next day dawned clear and bright, and I made my way westward across the Chilcotin Plateau toward Heckman Pass, which descends to Tweedsmuir Park and the Bella Coola Valley beyond. Little did I know what I was getting into.
Well, it's 1:15, and we've gone 58.3 kilometers, and we're still going down this pass. Let's proceed with caution. Well, it makes sense to me. Road's kind of icy. It's supposed to yield to oncoming traffic. Oh good, the road narrows. Well, that's okay. Doesn't look too dangerous. Whoa! Aha, fooled you. Well, I better get back to watching the road. And the icy mountains, they hemmed you in with a silence you most could hear. McCall Falls.
Alexander Mackenzie, explorer and fur trader of the Northwest Company, and 9 companions reached tidewater of the Pacific Ocean at the mouth of the Bella Coola River on July 19, 1793, completing the first journey made by white men across the continent of North America. For 3 days he explored the adjacent islands and channels. A little over 226 years later, David Castle spent the night in Bella Coola.
Well, here it is. All vehicles must use chains, and then the qualifying statement, which is usually followed by a sign that says no exceptions. Anyway, here's the chain up area. Okay, here we go. I've got my chains on, and we're going up the road, which so far is just muddy and not icy. What concerns me is not so much the ice conditions here as the potential for falling boulders. You can see this probably happens as a regular occurrence. And yet the road is pretty much clear, except for the occasional rock. And these are the little rocks, like this one here, that sometimes force you out towards the edge.
The long and the short of it is, I made it out of Tweedsmuir Park and headed back across the Chilcotin. It was spotted with these pioneer log cabins left over from the days of the gold rush, I suppose. I took it easy and even stopped to throw a line in, but I didn't catch any fish, so I turned my thoughts to hunting.
See, now, this is how we should be hunting. We've left the coastal Chilcotin now, and we're cruising along at, 130. And we're keeping an eye out for partridges. Don't see any yet.
After another wintry night in the parking lot of a rec center in Williams Lake, where I was inundated with hundreds of hockey players until midnight, I headed north to Quesnel and east to Barkerville, a ghost town from the gold rush days. The weather once again grew wintry and wonderful, and after that I found a first hotel in my travels in Quesnel, where I stayed overnight before heading north to Prince George and set on an easterly course towards Jasper.
Well, we're having a lovely drive going east on the Yellowhead Highway from Prince George towards Jasper, and thought I would show you a delightful snowstorm and a highway that's blanketed in the white stuff, and document this as being a mid-November day on the Yellowhead Highway. And if it weren't for the service engine soon light on the dashboard, it would be a perfectly lovely drive.
I drove through freezing rain and snow toward Jasper on the Yellowhead, finally stopping in a hotel at Valemount where we had a power failure. The next morning was still freezing rain, and I headed south toward Kamloops before turning west finally and coming out at Lillooet again in the Fraser Canyon.